I don't know any other coffee shops that have sleeve collaborations like that. Where did the initial idea come from?
So when we first launched Alfred, the whole concept was, all right, there's this mythical guy named Alfred. You think of Alfred, you think of the butler in Batman, you think of mustaches. Mustaches 7 years ago were really cool. Now it's like, oh, mustache, like on a coffee sleeve. But at the time, mustaches were really cool. So I figured, you know what? I'll print my own custom sleeves. And if you ever seen the valet tickets you get and they have like a movie advertisement.
Forever ago. They don't do it anymore.
I've recently seen it again, and I think
wow, I love that comeback.
Yeah. But I used to property manage a parking lot, and it was like they used to send you these free tickets, and it's like this movie on there, this HBO show, and I was like, oh, interesting. So there's an opportunity there. I set that aside, but I just wanted to do something cool. So like every time you get your coffee, you get a different image on there, and printing the cups was too expensive at the time because the minimums are too high. So I said, you know what, coffee sleeves would be cool. So we did put 4 different mustaches on the sleeves, sent them out, and people were like collecting the sleeves or taking photos of them. So at the same time, about the time we opened, Instagram was really kind of taking off, social media. So everyone was sharing everything, still kind of sharing everything. But we had the different coffee sleeves, and people were like taking a picture and, hashtag Alfred Coffee, and everything was fantastic, and we're loving that. By the time we opened our second location, almost 2 years after the first one, our office was sandwiched between Kelly Wersler's. Our second location was sandwiched between Kelly Wersler's office and her showroom on Melrose. So one of her employees was like, "Hey, Kelly wants to design sleeves for you," and I'm like, "This is the chance."
Yeah.
Because having her design it would liberate these sleeves to be something more than just us designing it. Would be outside, a superstar designing it. It would really allow me to use her name to kind of get other people to start getting involved in this, So it would set it free. So she designed these amazing sleeves. Went a little overboard. We had to calm it down because the plates and stuff, there's a lot of restrictions with these sleeves because they're pretty much done old school. So she did the design, and it took off, and it was pretty amazing. And from there, I started reaching out to other brands like Lululemon, Claire V, local brands, large brands. Bumble, we did a couple times with them, and it was pretty exciting. And then it became this thing for Alfred where every month we debut a new sleeve partner. We keep it simple in that there's one sleeve partner, and around that we build things like murals, drink specials and such, but we don't try to get too schizophrenic and do too much. So you're on the sleeves at all the locations, and it's been really great for us. Obviously, we get to work with cool brands, and we really get to keep it fresh for our customers. They're excited to see what we come up with, and I'm happy to say in our new office, we're debuting a huge sleeve wall with all the collaborations.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's like a museum, and then the first 4 sleeves are going to be like in a little plexiglass box in the front. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Gagosian
I love that.
for coffee sleeves. It's going to be amazing.
You guys have Marriage Story right now, right?
Well, Marriage Story was December. Right
yeah.
now we're Freeform.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That these big corporations are coming to you guys to promote.
Yeah, it's getting a little too insane. But I think by next week we'll probably have all of 2020 filled out.
Insane. Do you find yourself going out to a lot of partners, or it's more incoming?
We've been really blessed that it's been more incoming.
That's awesome.
We have a lot of repeat partnerships now too. I thought the most original one was CBS for the Emmy voting, like for your consideration. 3 years ago, they had a marketing team. Marketing team pitched CBS on like 25 ideas, and they wanted the coffee sleeves because they figured that between the Alfred locations and the Emmy voters that were actually frequenting Alfred, like this was the best way to capture their attention on these coffee sleeves, which was a pretty novel idea. Instead of putting up a billboard or like on back of Variety magazine, was advertising and the voters' daily coffee. And they've been doing it now this will be their 4th year. Doing the coffee sleeves with us, which is
very cool.
It's a good little test case of how our locations and our customer and our focus on our craft has kind of fit in with these advertising opportunities. So
now you're 7 years in. You have 16 locations, right?
15.
15. Okay, I'm off by one.
We had a pop-up in Japan that was there for 4 months. So
Okay, so 15 and a half.
15 and a half.
But it's really interesting to see. I think now we see so many businesses that grow and they're amazing and they scale, but a lot of them don't scale well. What has been your biggest key to scaling well and fast?
For us, it's definitely been all about taking our time. You know, you see a lot of businesses, or I see in the coffee space, a lot of cafe businesses that just explode. And you're like, damn, I'm jealous. Like, they went to like 100 locations in 3 years. You know, there's Luckin Coffee in China, which is like 3,000 in 2 years, and you're like, man, I'm a real loser because I'm opening 3,000 in 2 years. But for us, it's always been, again, this is my first foray into the food and beverage business. So everything, our team, our infrastructure is built from scratch. We had no consultants come in and be like, this is the way Starbucks does it. Like, we had some Starbucks employees that work for us, and they're like, what about this idea? Just minor tweaks, but no overhaul ever. So we've really built Alfred in I think in my complexion and in my upper management's complexion. This is a work in progress. Between the first and the second location, it was 2 years. But what's happened now that you say, you know, we have 15 locations now, from the beginning until now, we're still getting better at every location, right? Efficiency, the build out model, the design is getting tweaked to be, again, more efficient, and we're developing our style of the Alfred way. And as we get bigger and bigger, I think for us, it's, you know, we're definitely learning a lot. And I feel like we're at like 95% almost of what I would like Alfred to look like forever. But if you asked me 3 years ago, like, let's take that Alfred and let's grow that to a few hundred, those few hundred would be running it back right now, because there's so many things that we've learned along the way and customer behaviors and such.